As entrepreneurs, small business owners, and even seasoned managers, we're always on the lookout for ways to make our ventures more profitable. But have you ever stopped to think about when your hard work will start paying off? When will you break even? In this video, we'll explore a crucial financial tool that helps answer just that question: break-even analysis. First, let's define what break-even analysis is all about. Simply put, it's a calculation that determines the point at which your business's revenue equals its costs, resulting in neither profit nor loss. Think of it as finding the balance between income and expenses. To understand this concept better, imagine you're running a small bakery. You sell loaves of bread for $2 each, but it costs you $1.50 to produce one loaf. If your sales are slow, how many loaves do you need to sell before you start making money? This is where break-even analysis comes in. Now that we've covered the basics, let's dive into the formula itself. The break-even point (BEP) can be calculated using the following formula: BEP equals fixed costs contribution margin. But don't worry if this sounds like jargon. I'll explain each part in detail. Fixed costs are expenses that remain constant regardless of sales volume, such as rent or salaries. Contribution margin is the amount by which revenue exceeds total fixed and variable costs. In other words, it's your profit per unit. To make things more concrete, let's use our bakery example again. Suppose your monthly fixed costs come out to $5,000 rent, utilities, etc., and you sell each loaf of bread for $2 with a variable cost of $1.50 per loaf. Your contribution margin would be $0.50 to $1.50, and using the formula above, we find that your break-even point is 10,000 loaves per month, $5,000 ish $0.50. This means you'll need to sell at least 10,000 loaves of bread each month before you start making a profit. Next, let's talk about why this tool is essential for any business owner. By calculating your break-even point, you can avoid running out of cash during the initial stages of your venture. It also helps you identify areas where you might be able to cut costs or improve your pricing strategy. For instance, if you find that your break-even point is higher than expected, you might want to consider increasing prices or reducing expenses. Finally, let's discuss some common mistakes people make when using break-even analysis. One of the biggest errors is forgetting about variable costs. These can quickly add up and affect your overall profit margins. Another mistake is not considering seasonal fluctuations in demand. This means that if your sales are higher during certain months, you might need to adjust your production levels accordingly. Quick recap: break-even analysis helps determine when a business's revenue equals its costs. It involves calculating the break-even point using fixed costs and contribution margin. And by understanding this concept, you can make informed decisions about pricing and cost cutting. So, what can we take away from this discussion? By applying the principles of break-even analysis to your own business, you'll be able to create a more sustainable financial plan. And remember, every entrepreneur's journey is unique, but with the right tools at your disposal, you can navigate even the most challenging times with confidence. As we've discussed, calculating the break-even point requires considering both fixed and variable costs. However, it's essential to note that not all businesses have a straightforward pricing strategy. For example, if you're running an online store selling products with varying prices, your contribution margin will be different for each item. Let's consider a scenario where you sell two types of t-shirts, one with a fixed price of $15 and another with a dynamic price based on sales data. If the variable cost per unit is $5, the contribution margin for the first product would be $10, $15, $5, while the second product's contribution margin would vary depending on its sale price. To calculate the break-even point in this scenario, you'll need to consider the weighted average of your product's contribution margins. This means multiplying each product's contribution margin by its sales volume and then dividing that total by the fixed costs. The result will give you a more accurate break-even point for your business. Another crucial aspect of break-even analysis is understanding how changes in pricing or cost-cutting strategies affect your financials. For instance, if you increase prices to reduce demand, you'll likely see an initial drop in sales volume. However, this could also lead to higher revenue per unit and potentially offset the loss in overall sales. Conversely, reducing costs might seem like a straightforward way to boost profit margins. But beware, cutting corners too aggressively can have unintended consequences on product quality or customer satisfaction. This is where having a thorough understanding of your break-even point comes into play. As you refine your pricing and cost-cutting strategies, keep in mind that every decision has a ripple effect throughout your business. A slight change in one area might require adjustments elsewhere to maintain profitability. By regularly reviewing your break-even analysis and adapting it to changing market conditions, you'll be better equipped to navigate these complexities. To illustrate this point further, let's revisit the example of the bakery from earlier. If they find that their break-even point is higher than expected due to seasonal fluctuations in demand, they might want to consider implementing a dynamic pricing strategy. This could involve adjusting prices based on sales data or offering promotions during slow periods to stimulate demand. In this scenario, the bakery would need to weigh the benefits of increased revenue against potential losses from reduced sales volume. By running regular break-even analysis and keeping a close eye on market trends, they can make informed decisions that balance these competing interests. As you continue to refine your pricing and cost-cutting strategies, remember that break-even analysis is not a one-time calculation. It's an ongoing process that requires regular updates and adjustments. This means staying attuned to changes in market conditions, sales data, and customer behavior to ensure your business remains financially sustainable over time. Ultimately, the key takeaway from our discussion on break-even analysis is its ability to provide actionable insights for businesses at various stages of growth. Whether you're a startup or an established enterprise, this tool can help you optimize your financial strategy and make more informed decisions about pricing, cost cutting, and resource allocation. To further illustrate the value of break-even analysis, let's consider a real-world example. A small coffee shop owner noticed that their sales volume was consistently higher during peak hours 7 a.m., 10 a.m. but lower during off-peak periods. By analyzing their sales data and running regular break-even calculations, they realized that adjusting their menu pricing strategy could help offset the losses from reduced demand. The coffee shop owner decided to introduce a tiered pricing system for drinks sold during peak and off-peak hours. This involved increasing prices during peak hours but offering discounts or promotions during slower periods. By doing so, they managed to balance their revenue streams and maintain profitability, even when sales volume was lower. This example highlights the importance of staying adaptable in business. Being willing to adjust your pricing strategy in response to changing market conditions is crucial for long-term success. And it's here that break-even analysis comes into play as a powerful tool for making informed decisions about pricing, cost cutting, and resource allocation. In conclusion, understanding the concept of break-even analysis can help you navigate the complexities of business finance with greater confidence. By regularly reviewing your financials and adjusting your strategies accordingly, you'll be better equipped to achieve sustainable growth and profitability over time. Whether you're just starting out or have been in business for years, this fundamental concept remains essential for making informed decisions that drive success.